Yo, what's good? Big Z here, back in another video, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make this track. So the song is called Get Down by Retrovision. He's a sick producer. Check him out if you don't know him already. He's got a lot of cool stuff. As always, all the serum patches and MIDI files I show you will be linked down below. So let's start with this lead sound. So you notice in the beginning it looks like it's just playing one note for a while. But that's not true because I'm automating the pitch bend of the sound. So in Logic, how you do that is you go into the MIDI draw section and you go down to here to the controller and hit pitch bend. So every bar for the first 3 bars, the pitch is bending upwards, which gives it that cool riser effect. So now let's get into how the sound is made. So I use Silent 1 for this. So the sound is basically a saw wave and a half pulse wave. And they both have one voice of unison, and make sure the re-trigger is checked for both the oscillators. What's important for that pitch rise effect I just showed you is that the bend range is set to 3 semitones down here. So what gives the sound its main character is in the distortion tab. So choose bit crush as the type of distortion, and then turn the amount and the dry wet up all the way to 100%. And what that does is drastically change the character of the sound. So I'll show you without it, and I'll slowly bring it in. So you can see how gritty and dirty sounding that lead gets from the amount being at 100%. Other than that, there's nothing fancy going on with the envelopes or anything. I just have some compression on there. It's a very heavily compressed sound. As for processing, here's the EQ I have on here. There's some harsh frequencies around 3000 Hertz that I took out. And I also have some OTT on here as well, boosting the mids and taking out some of the highs. So you'll notice in this track there's something cool going on with the reverb as well. So I have this lead going to a reverb send, and what I'm doing is automating the volume of that reverb each bar. So here's the automation for the reverb gain I have. So how you do this is on your reverb chain. After the reverb somewhere, you want to put a gain plug-in. Then you can go in and automate the gain. So you can see how this goes up 12 decibels in volume on the 3rd quarter note of every bar. It just adds some tension and excitement to the track. Now let's get into the bass sound. There's some unique things going on with the bass in this song, in that it kind of trades off between like 4 different bass sounds. Kind of like how like old school electro house would do a lot, except he's doing it in a new and cool way. So here are all the basses. So I'm just going to go one by one and show you guys how they're made. Here's the first bass. And I just made this in Serum with a saw wave. Make sure oscillator B is a square wave, except take the level all the way down and use FM synthesis from B to affect that saw wave on the left. It's only one voice of unison, and I have this envelope here that's affecting the cutoff of this low pass filter, and it's also affecting the drive and the mix of the distortion. A big part of the sound comes from this formant filter right here. So it's in the formant 3 setting, and you're going to want to turn the drive up all the way to make it a really fat sound, formant all the way down, and the cutoff to about 100 Hertz. Other than that, I just have some chorus on there to widen up the sound. As for processing, I've got the CLA bass plugin with compression, distortion, and some chorus. Then here's the EQ I have for this bass. On to the next bass. Just a really standard square bass. It's just a square wave with some fold back distortion on it. Nothing else is going on. I also have some compression, and here's the EQ I have on that one, cutting off a lot of the highs. Here's the third bass. So the last sound was just a really simple square bass. This is just a straight saw bass. One voice of unison, same thing, nothing fancy going on, just some overdrive distortion on it. Here's the EQ on that one, and I've got some OTT on there as well. Alright, last bass, which I think is the coolest bass sound, sounds like this. So how I made this sound was in Serum. It's just a saw wave with one voice of unison. Nothing's going on with the envelopes or anything. It's all in the effects section. So I've got some distortion on there, just some basic tube distortion, but the formant filter is really what's giving it that cool vocally sound. So I have this LFO that's moving the cutoff every time the note is played, and that's so it gives the sound some movement and sounds more alive. Underneath all that, as always, I have a basic sub layer. This time it's just a sine wave. Alright, that's it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Spotify below to stay up to date with what I'm doing. Other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.